What is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome yourselves back to another zombies video on the channel, where today we are starting off the new series where we come up with map ideas and places we'd like to see, areas we could go to in Black Ops 4 Zombies. Of course, right now we really don't know anything about it. We really aren't too sure where we're going to be starting off with BO4. We have little clues from the previous game, but really, as far as we know, we could be going anywhere. So I thought it'd be an awesome series idea to try and figure out or come up with map ideas and places of where we could go. I should also have a zombies Q&A out, maybe not tomorrow, but in the next day or so. So if you are excited, make sure you drop a like rating whenever you feel like it throughout the video. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. And of course, when you're ready, here we go. So all the way back in, I believe it was like 2012, 2013, before Black Ops 3 came out, I did a video talking about a possible map idea that I would have liked to have seen in Black Ops 2, and that was Richtofens lab. A lot of people in that video all those years ago seemed to think that was a good idea, but actually I think this is a map that would be really awesome for Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, like I said, all we know so far is that with the ending of Black Ops 3, we saw our characters get sent back to the age of Primus, so it's possible that on our first map for Black Ops 4, we are starting where that left off, so we are playing as Primus during the Great War or just after. That could be one possibility. Of course, we could be playing with a new set of characters, or the storyline, just like it's done before, could take a whole new route. And I think this map, Richtofens Lab, would be perfect for a DLC 1. So it takes place with us using the original 2.0 set of characters that we used in the storyline during the beginning World at War and Black Ops 1. The final time we saw them was on Moon, and then after that we moved to a new set of characters and then the Primus crew. But with this map, we are playing as the original Richthofen, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey. And they're going to places that we haven't seen before in Zombies. We know in the Zombies timeline there are loads of different events that are missing. There are loads of big time gaps. We go from the 1940s and then suddenly jump to the 50s. Even though events do happen between that 10-year gap, they're not noted in the Canorium. So there are loads of things that happened in the zombie storyline that the Canorium doesn't tell us, and this could be one of them. I think it'd be a really cool idea if in Black Ops 4 we go back in time with the original characters, but to places that we've never seen them go to. And in fact, this map would take place in the 1960s, because if you remember, around the time of Ascension, which was 1963, around about that time, if you look at the Ascension poster, you will notice that Richthofen went missing. We are told in Ascension by Dr. Monty, he says this in the radio, he tells us that for a brief period, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey were fighting alongside Gersh, whilst Richthofen was off somewhere else doing something else. Richthofen just went missing. However, this event isn't noted in the Canorium, which is just more proof that a lot of events happen that we aren't told about within this book. And Richthofen going missing whilst we're fighting along Gersh is just one of them. And I think that'd be the perfect place to fit this map in. Richtofen's laboratory could have been one of the many places that he went to whilst he was away from Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey. Obviously, the older version of Richthofen was evil, he was corrupted. This version of him had many sickening and evil side projects going on. He kept secrets from the original characters. His laboratory could have been one of them. So, getting back to it. As I said, so it's called Richtofen's Laboratory. It could take place in the 1960s. Richthofen goes there during the time that he's separated from Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey whilst they're with Gersh. And this is his laboratory hidden deep underground somewhere in Germany. Maybe this map could take place in an alternate dimension, in an alternate universe where possibly the Nazis won World War II, and we are now in the 1960s where they rule most of the world. I honestly think that'd be an awesome scenario, even though obviously not in real life. It's a video game, but imagine if this map took place in an alternate dimension where, like I said, the Nazis won World War II, they ruled most of the world, and Richthofen had this secret laboratory for him to do his experiments on prisoners of war that he would then turn into zombies and then give to the Nazis for them to use for their own purpose, whether that's to fight off a resistance or use as gods, whatever the Nazis wished. In this secret laboratory that Richthofen had, he was creating experiments that not even we knew of, that he'd kept so secret. Maybe if he was to ever speak of them, or if word was to get out about what Richthofen was creating under these labs, then it could be a disaster. For example, in Richtofen's lab, we could see a wonder weapon that he was creating that was, well, terrifying. We know Richthofen is this evil, sadistic doctor, so if this map was to have a wonder weapon, it would have to be something pretty crazy. We know he's created the Wonder Waffle, so it's got to be something that's 10 times more crazy than that. We haven't really seen fire used in a wonder weapon yet, so that could be an idea, or something that involves water, or maybe magic. Like I said, not only in these labs was Richthofen creating wonder weapons, but he was also experimenting on prisoners of war. Not only to create zombies though, like he was with Group 935, but Richthofen wanted to go that one step further and create monsters. Maybe zombies that were 10 times the size of a human. Maybe zombies that had metal exoskeletons, body armor, machine guns on their arms. You couldn't even really begin to imagine the crazy weapons and equipment you could see in this map, because we know it's Richthofen. The original version of him was insane. Like I said, it'd be deep down underground in Germany. There'd be dark caves and caverns all around, skulls embedded in the walls, different traps that Richthofen had set out all around the place for security measures in case someone broke in or if there was an outbreak in his lab. There'd probably be turrets everywhere, and especially there'd be loads of little Easter eggs that Richthofen had set up, loads of plans in case things went wrong. I also think this map would make an incredible Easter egg as well, Richthofen's lab just discovering what he was doing. I honestly just think a map based on him, his older version, just how interesting he was, I think it'd make for a really awesome map. There could also possibly be a teleporter that takes you to above ground, but that in my opinion is something I would definitely love to see. I also think maybe, well, if we're going to Richthofen's lab, well then how about we actually go as Takio, Nikolai, Dempsey and Gersh instead of Richthofen since he was missing, and we actually go to Richthofen's lab to track him down and find him. Since he went missing, he left a clue, and so we followed that clue and it led us to Richthofen's lab. And when we get there, we find out all of this stuff of what he's been doing, and actually, Richthofen ends up to be the boss. Richthofen discovers that we've found him in his lab, and so he injects himself with the serum that he's been creating down here, and then when he does that, he turns into this massive mutated zombie, a boss version of him that we have to fight. Honestly, I think that'd be really cool. Like I said, this map could take place in an alternate dimension, so it wouldn't have an effect on the main story. Anything could go. As we know with the zombie storyline, literally anything can happen now, and Treyarch has an explanation for it, so honestly, I think this idea would be so freaking sick. Let me know your ideas, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is just episode 1, so let me know in the comment section below your other map ideas. If you have enjoyed, make sure you drop a like rate, and of course you don't have to if you don't want to. Make sure you are subscribed and also click that bell notification icon as well. Thank you all very much for watching, and of course we'll see you all in the next video. Until next time, goodbye.